Hello, lovely third graders. This is your literacy lesson for Monday, April 6th, 2020. I'm going to go through your to-do list with you, and then I will get started on our lesson. So the first thing you'll do is watch this video. I'm sure you're doing that if you're hearing my voice. Just to remind you, every day from now on, you'll have a literacy lesson and a math homeroom lesson. That kind of goes over two separate things, okay? The first thing on your to-do list is to do Amplify, and you're going to do the story lab for 30 minutes today, okay? If you're wondering what the story lab is, it looks like this when you log in. It's the first one. So that's the story lab. Today you're doing 30 minutes of that on Amplify, okay? The next thing you'll do is you're going to go on to Epic, and I have assigned a book for you called Covered in Water. Some of you have already read this, but I've created a quiz for you. So when you're finished reading the book, you're going to take the quiz. That's my way of checking in to see if you've understood it. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we keep going, okay? The last thing on your to-do list is to read for 20 minutes on Epic. We know that it's important to read every single day. So in addition to doing Covered in Water, you're also going to read for another 20 minutes, okay? And then I have a robot timer for you today. If you click on it, the robot timer looks like this once it loads. Okay, let's say I'm doing Epic first and I need to read for 20 minutes. I could set my timer and it looks like this. Okay, the noise is bothering you. You can turn the noise off. Okay, that's your timer. That's your way to keep track of your 30 minutes for Amplify and your 20 minutes for Epic. I will say we were not as good about doing Amplify last week. You cannot just log in and say that's enough. I can see if you've just logged in and you haven't done any of it. You have to do 30 minutes. So by the end of the week, it should show that you have been on there for 30 minutes every day. Same for Epic. I can see how long you've been on there. Okay. The last thing that I did for you is optional if you just need some calming music to listen to while you're working, kind of like we did in our classroom when Alex would find backgrounds for us. I found this really nice one, super calming. Hopefully there's not an ad. Let's see, there is an ad. Of course there's an ad. Okay, but then you just click skip ads. And it looks like this, very calming. So if you need some music to listen to in the background, you'd like to feel like you're in the classroom, you can listen to that. Okay, I'm going to get started on our lesson for today. That's Mr. Rico. You know him well. Okay, I created these for both math and literacy, and I think they're hilarious. Our learning targets for today are I can practice reading fluently, and I can answer questions using evidence from the text. Okay, to remind us what it means to read fluently, there are 5 important things. Reading accurately, which means reading the words correctly. Self-correcting, so that means, hey, if I got a couple words wrong, I'm fixing it because I know as I'm reading it, that didn't make sense. Reading at the right speed, so making sure that we're not reading too slow or we're not reading too fast. Okay, just at the right speed. And then we want to make sure we're reading smoothly. That's where that will come in. And reading with expressions. This is our little chart that we're used to seeing. If you want to pause your screen, you can look at it, what all of these different things look like as we're reading fluently. Okay? As we're answering questions, there are some really important things we have to do. So I want you to pause for a moment and think. What are some things that we have to do when we are answering questions? First one, read the entire story. That's the most important piece. We have to make sure that we're reading what we're supposed to be reading. Okay? Read the questions completely. Read all of the answer choices. Go back and find the answers in the text. Find your no way Jose's, cross off any answers that are wrong. As we're doing online learning, you'll have to do it in your mind. And then you did it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, that was a quick little literacy lesson for us, reminding us about reading fluently and how to answer our questions. Okay, you are going to need the reading fluently piece for Amplify as you're doing the story lab. The whole point of the story lab, it's kind of like if you've done Read Naturally, it's having you listen to a story. Then it's having you read a story out loud. That's where our reading fluency piece will come into play. Okay. As you're reading, it's going to have blank boxes where you'll have to read the story and figure out which word would make the most sense. This is important for us as readers to make sure that we're understanding the story. So we need to put in words that will make sense. It will give us 3 choices. So if you're not sure, you could read the sentence with each word and then figure out which one made the most sense. Okay? Then for our second target, which is to use evidence from the text to help you answer questions. If you go into Epic, you'll see that I've assigned Covered in Water for you. About 6 of you have already read it. It's okay to read it again. You'll click on the story, and I'm already kind of a couple pages into it. But if you go back, you can start at the beginning. Okay. And one thing I don't know if you know that you can do on Epic is if you don't know a word, you can just click on it and it'll read it to you. Okay. So there's no stress if you don't know how to read some of the words, like this one, Niagara. Okay. You just click on it and it'll read it to you. Okay. So then once you finish, once you get to the end of the story, I hope you're not going to click through this like me. Okay. You're going to hit start the quiz. Okay, and I have some questions for you. It says it's created by me, start the quiz. Okay, this is telling you which part of the book this question is on. Okay, Our Watery World. So if you're not sure how to answer this question, you don't know the answer, you could go back and say, are you sure you want to exit? Yes. You could go back and find Our Watery World and go back and read it. See? Our Watery World. And then you can go back and use that text to help you. I don't want you to guess on this quiz. Even though it's 3 questions, I want you to try your best, okay? So as we keep going, we have this question, okay? And it will tell you right on the spot if you're right or if you're wrong, okay? So this one says, nice try, okay? And then this one tells you Earth's water, okay? And you'd go through and finish your quiz. That's your literacy assignments for today. So again, we watch our video, we do the story lab for 30 minutes on Amplify, we read Covered in Water and complete the quiz, we do 20 minutes of reading on Epic, and then we have our timers to help us keep track of time. So we need to make sure that we're showing integrity as we're working. I'm not there to check in and make sure that you're working and you're doing it for the entire time. So you need to show integrity and use your timer to help you, okay? If there's a different timer that you like better that you found somewhere else, use that or use your phone or your parents' phone if that's helpful for you. Anything that's going to help you do your work for the entire time, okay? And then that last part was just some calming music if you wanted it to listen to it, okay? I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions throughout the day, you can have your parents message me on Remind, and I am happy to help, okay? Have a great day. Bye.